How's it going, people? Sam Slappy here, and it is Monday, which is update day. So today you see the Tirannwn task set coming into the game, as well as a snowboarding little minigame thing. So the Tirannwn task set is, well, it's here pretty much. Some of the things you can look to is you need to go through the Randall Pass, wear Mourner's gear, bank a shark within the Elf Camp, access the Max Guild, and get at least wave 15 in gold or platinum, rush of blood, etc. So yeah, apparently some of the things are going to be fairly high to actually do, but in doing so you gain a quiver slot item that's useful for all combat styles and while skilling. Some of the permanent benefits to be earned as well is the limestone buyer, a daily free skilling materials, a chance not to use charges on crystal weapons and more, and you obviously get the chunky XP lamps as well. It'll also give you increased damage against creatures local to Tirannwn and an expanded list of teleports, loads of skilling and convenience boosts when it's worn as well. So the other thing we're talking about is the snowboarding event. You want to go down to the Lumbridge Crater, speak to the Queen of Snow, find a couple of clues for it, whatever. You'll then receive a snowboard. You can then right click on it to access a snowboarding ramp, and you can go do some snowboarding, pull out some stunts and whatever, get some rep points, which you can then spend to upgrade the snowboard up to 4 times, I believe, or 5 times. Basically just to make it look pretty. And yeah, that's pretty much it, to be totally honest. So the other things worth mentioning is 2 seasonal high scores are going to be starting today. That's the number of deaths and clue scrolls completed. And other things are going to be changing. The midnight reset timers. This will be now applicable to the Provinceless Crystal Tree, the Catherby Seaweed, and the Catherby Pineapples, which you can get from the General Store bloke on the docks. Additionally, other Wednesday midnight UTC similar weeklies is the free raw bacon and pouches, the Tears of Guthix, and hanky points. So all of those now go into the midnight resets. So yeah, Tirannwn task set, snowboarding thingy, and those things are being sorted, plus the patch notes which we have today as well. So let's go through these then, shall we? So, graphic-wise, using Turmoil, Anguish, and Torment curses will no longer reset the weapon's animation to that of the worn one rather than the keepsake. Fishing animations will no longer loop on every attempt in Dungeoneering. The cracked gem animation has been played when opening a treasure hunter chest. Some gaps outside the Max Guild have been fixed. Several missing polygons for the Max Guild balcony and crystal supports have also been restored. Moving on to the skills and minigames. It is now possible to withdraw items from a Beast of Burden during Dominion Tower Rumble mode. Dominion weaponry can now be used in the Dominion Tower Rumble mode. Dagonoth Sentinels in the DT Tower Rumble mode no longer attack players who are spectating. Delrith will now use his spec attack in DT Rumble mode against rangers and mages. The message displayed when the player uses a Vigorous Orb power-up within DT Rumble mode now references special attack energy rather than adrenaline in Legacy mode. Players can no longer buy multiple Extreme Dominion medallions. Updated the Heifer Agility course so that it can be completed in fixed screen Legacy mode. The course overlay is now smaller and can be moved. The cutscene mode is no longer used while on the course. Players can no longer kill Implings with familiar attacks. Patch protection scrolls now work with the tree patch in the Traherne section of Provinceless. Skill chompers now work correctly in the lava flow mine. Returning to Treasure Hunter after logging into the game will now show the correct window. Clan avatars are now smaller, and the right-click options are now hidden for players not in the relevant clan except in PvP situations. Iron Men may now play Dominion Tower Rumble mode on their own. Moving on to quests and achievements, player may no longer claim weekly replay lamps from Broken Home early. An uncommon situation which could prevent further progress at the climax of Broken Home has been resolved. Fletching twigs in the Phoenix Lair will no longer take an excessively long time to finish. The Troll General's combat levels been fixed. Some missing chat in the Void Stairs back quest has been restored. Moving on to your miscellaneous goodness, achievement banners can no longer be placed in PvP areas, disabled resting animation overrides in PvP, group of customization overrides with different palettes now recolor correctly when applied together. Recolors now remain on weapon overrides after unequipping weapons. Players can now only retrieve items from a divine box trap if they have at least 1 free inventory space. An issue where chat focus was lost at the Advanced Barbarian Agility course has been resolved. Players will no longer use up too much Viswax if the buttons are pressed too quickly. Iorwerth and G'dan elves can no longer be lured into the Tower of Voices. Players will no longer receive a message saying they can cast Disruption Shield again if they hadn't used the spell. The Twitch stream window will no longer resize itself when tabbed. An issue preventing players from picking up Clockwork Cats has been fixed. An issue where familiar options were appearing while hide familiar options was toggled on has been fixed. And the rate at which hand cannons explode has been reduced. Last but not least, we have a Ninja fix, and this is the message received when attempting to use an ability on a chompy bird is now filtered. The cooking make X table will now always default to the first eligible item in the player's inventory. There is now a timer on the buff/debuff panel for anti-poison. Hands has regained the ability to walk. The XP display pop-up can now be toggled between level and skill-based targets in the interface settings window. Players can now place the Clan Vexilium from the inventory. The quick chat options my divination level is and I have gathered are now in the main divination category. There is no longer a scroll bar on the achievements tab when choosing a task set. The growth stages for maple trees in farming patches have been graphically updated. Some player-owned house models have been updated to reflect changes made on the surface world. Butterflies in Privthinus will no longer show above shadow creatures. And Elf City capes can now be added to a player-owned house cape rack. So there we go. That is everything you need to know about today's update. Yeah, nice and quick, no worries, happy days. I'll chuck up the Animal Magnetism quest guide up later this week. Hopefully I can get another quest guide or two up. I should hopefully be able to get back onto the game properly. Happy days. All in all, people, that is pretty much it. This has been your Monday, so until next time, I will catch you all later. Have a good one.